Hello, everyone, and welcome to an all new episode of Equilibrium. I'm your host, Bria, and today I'm so excited to introduce Ralonda Simmons. She's a Renaissance woman, wordsmith, singer, sometimes actress, MC, all of the above. Thanks for being here, Ralonda.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful to get the opportunity.
No, I'm so excited to talk to you. You, as I said, are a Renaissance woman and you do so many great things and so creative. I want to know, is there a specific, like, what is your go-to song that you love singing?
Go-to song that I love singing. Ooh, that depends on the day,
Hmm.
on the mood. What's one lately? Like if I was at karaoke for the longest time, it would have been Ain't No Way by Aretha Franklin,
Okay.
which is not a karaoke song, but I don't care. I do what I want. Um, if I were to go to karaoke now, it'd probably be something by Ari Lennox. This song called Plenty of Fish, or it's really called POF.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about dating struggles, which is unfortunately super relatable to all of us. So, or Shea Butter Baby, that's another good one.
I like that one.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite ones. Okay, so kind of a pretty strong voice then. Go ahead and do a little something for us right now.
Oh, I'm
I'm
on
just
the
joking.
spot. You got any requests?
Well, it's so funny. I as such a creative person, I want to know, where do you draw your inspiration from?
Oh, just everyday things. Just trying to find the beauty in the mundane wherever I can. Also, a lot of it comes from spirituality and ancestral veneration. I'm an adherent of Ifa, so a lot of it comes from that.
What is that?
It's the religion in the Yoruba religion.
Mhm.
So it has branches all over the world under different names, but spirituality plays a very big part of it.
Interesting. I've never heard this before. So it's a part of the Yoruba religion, and what is it called again?
Ifa
Eve.
or Ifa or Isheshe, which means tradition.
Mhm.
There's Santeria in Cuba. That's another branch off. There's also Candomblé in Brazil.
Mhm.
Same religion, different places, people going all around the world. So a lot of it comes from that. Just like no, I took a long time to try to figure out who I am and who my ancestors are. And like I studied abroad in Ghana just to just reclaim those things and see what I can do to make something new with it. And lucky me, I have thousands of years to pull from.
That's amazing. How did you, so why did you choose Ghana of all places to go to? Is that, did you study your ancestry before you chose to go to Ghana, or it was it?
I didn't. I originally wanted to go to Senegal, but my study abroad program, they said I needed something like 2 years of French, and I did not have that, but I still wanted to go to West Africa, so I ended up going to Ghana. They speak English there.
Okay, okay.
Excellent choice. I regret nothing.
You're good. So when you're in Ghana, how did you research your ancestry?
For that one, I feel like that approach back then, this was like 10 years ago. I don't think at that point I had actually done any kind of DNA thing. But I went back there obsessed with the Harlem Renaissance. And over there, we got to tour the W.E.B. Du Bois Museum because he had a house there. And so just getting to sit at his desk, that's ancestral to me. We're not like linked by blood, but we're linked by culture, and that still counts. So I consider people like Maya Angelou, Toni Morrison, Langston Hughes, uh, people like that, like my literary ancestors. So any place I get to go that's kind of tied to them, it gives me like some energy.
Mm,
Maya Angelou was also over in Ghana
very
for a
cool.
while there.
I can't imagine sitting at that desk. Is that emotional for you?
It is now more than then because it's like, wow,
Yeah.
it's a very old place. and Du Bois was so central to the Harlem Renaissance, which was all about people basically taking back the popular idea of what Blackness was at the time and redefining it for themselves, which is a whole revolution.
Mhm.
Um, year, 100 years ago, pretty much. And now here I am.
Mhm.
Here you are. So it's ancestral and
Yeah.
long story short, it's pretty ancestral.
Man, so so you went to Ghana about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to go back?
I want to. I want to live there eventually. Like my
Ooh,
dream is to have, I don't know if this is even a thing yet, but it can be someday. I don't know. But like in a high rise,
okay.
looking over the water, or even a house by the beach, couple floors.
That'd be nice.
I don't know. Someday.
I have still never made it to Africa, but definitely on my list of places to go. Um, so I want to know about your background, and I know you're originally from Los Angeles.
Orange.
Ah, Orange County.
Close enough.
Well, same thing. I'm just joking, but tell me a little bit
It's
about
all
your background.
California. Yeah. I'm actually a kid who moved around a lot. So sometimes just to save some time, I'll just say I'm from America because I lived in California. I lived in South Carolina, Mississippi, a good chunk of my life. And now I'm here in Colorado. So
Wow.
I went to all these different elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. So that's pretty much my background. My mom was in the Navy.
Hmm.
So I say, I can just be in whatever environment. I've done it
Yeah.
before I even knew I could as a little kid. So that's
Beautiful.
really my background, just being from everywhere.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I feel like, as military brats, I'm a military brat too, um,
Nice.
Air Force. So it is like a lot of people are like, I don't know how you're able to move to all these different places and go to these different schools, but it's like as an adult, I appreciate that so much because again, you can adapt to any sort of environment that you're in. You're just exposed to so many different things that someone that's staying in the same place just isn't exposed to. So I think that also feeds into the creativity that you have as well, and just experiencing so many different things and wanting to do so many different things. You're also a coach, and you have an academy called the Confidence Boost Academy. Talk to
Yes.
me about where that came from and why that's important to you.
Well, like a lot of things in my life, I try to learn from the things I go through and see what I can do to turn that lesson into something that can help other people. So for my day job, I'm an instructional designer. That's what I do. I design courses for adult learning. And so I took my experience of what lack of confidence could do to a life and what actual confidence can do to a life. And then I built a curriculum um, so that I can help coach people to get to a better, just better, more aligned life. Part of being confident. You can know what you're talking about, but if you don't believe that you know what you're talking about, good luck. I've talked myself out of opportunities based on the way I communicated at times. And once I had that snap of how does a confident person act? What do they believe? Everything changed.
Mm.
And I want to help other people with that.
I think that's, I mean, pretty profound. It's interesting when you kind of talk yourself out of opportunities for no reason, and it's like, why did I do that? um
Yeah.
with the Confidence Boost Academy, is how can people find the academy, and how do they work with you?
I have a website, confidenceboost.academy. I'm also on LinkedIn. It's easier to reach out to me on LinkedIn. My inbox is open. I also have a page on Facebook, Confidence Boost Academy.
Okay.
Definitely. I'm not super outside in the streets, but if you see me, just be like, you know what, I heard about Confidence Boost Academy. Tell me more, and I'll tell you all about it.
Okay. Well, they have to have
You're
a
not gonna
confidence
catch me in your
athlete.
inbox though. That's weird.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. Is there like a course or something for people, like, do you, let me say, like, do your clients or the people that you work with, are they typically coming to you because they're like, hey, I have really low confidence in myself and want to do better? What is typically the thing that they're asking to help with?
They mention a term a lot of the times, imposter syndrome,
Mm,
which I think is controversial. I don't, especially as a Black woman, I don't think it's imposter syndrome. I think it's the natural effect of what happens when you try to succeed in a system that is not meant for you, was not built for you to be supported and thrive. But if you want to call it imposter syndrome, if that's the entry point that we need to go through, that's what we'll do.
mhm. I mean, how do you deal with that in real life?
That is something that, especially as a person who goes everywhere and does everything, sometimes you're just going to feel not so confident. And actually, that's okay. You don't have to be. Confidence comes and goes. And then when you get old enough and you've gone through enough, you could say, I've been through this before. I got through it before with flying colors, might I add. And don't fool around and recognize that you've done it multiple times. Hello. You get to call on the strength of your past selves and go out and succeed. Do whatever you need to do to be steady in your appearance and speech, because that's a big part of it.
Mm.
You gotta, I don't like the term fake it until you make it, but in a way, that is kind of what you have to do. You have to go through the motions. And so just enough time for you to be able to do it unconsciously, whatever that is. Athletes do that. You can also do that as a person in your own personal development, including confidence. One thing about what inspired me too is I looked up a study. I got curious one day. I looked up a study and it was talking about how much low confidence costs in terms of money. It costs you money. This paper was out in 2008, I think, and they were saying something like, if you're a blue collar worker, that's $8,000 down the drain, possibly because you don't stand up and be counted, share your ideas, you don't go for promotions, or look for other ways to actually, or even just negotiating for the money when you first get hired. That's another thing. But if you look at white collar workers, it was something like $28,000.
Wow. Wow.
And that's in 2008 dollars.
2000.
What is it in 2023 dollars? Because inflation is inflating. It never deflates. It doesn't really seem to deflate. It definitely seems to inflate.
Mhm.
So I felt so strongly about this. I built a calculator and put it on my website.
Wow.
If you look at I went to the World Health Organization and looked at like life expectancy, and I built a calculator to multiply it by the number of dollars. It's enough to make you sick. So now it's time to help people. It's just time to help people. It gets into the millions, depending
Really?
on how young you are,
Yeah.
because that's even more time to not get yours.
You mentioned something earlier where it was taking the strength of your former selves. That really, I mean, that hit me because I mean, wow.
She's in there.
Wow.
They're in there.
Yeah.
Same person, different selves, iterations,
Hmm.
depending on the situation.
I mean, I need to sign up for the academy, obviously.
Word.
So in addition to being this confidence coach and this amazing person, you are also a spoken word poet.
I am.
That is something that I've always admired. Like I can't do any sort of like poetry, rhyme, nothing
Are
of
you
this.
sure?
I mean, I'm sure I can like simple like I can't see, I can't even come up with something. What?
Well, I'm not going to compare whatever you're talking about to what I've been doing because I've been writing really steadily since I was 14.
Okay.
And today's my birthday. So that means I've been doing it for 24 years.
You have not told me it was your birthday. Happy birthday.
Surprise!
Oh my
Thank
gosh,
you.
I love birthdays. Wow, thank you for spending your time with Equilibrium.
No, I love to do stuff like this on my birthday. I've performed on stage during on my birthday. I've taught basically writing workshops for kids during the summer on my birthday. So this is what I'm learning. I like to speak to people and do things that help people on my birthday. It's like it's a gift I get to give, which is like makes me happy.
Same here. This is why we get along so because I'm also born in July. Uh,
Really? What day?
July 14th.
Oh, okay. Nice. July babies got it.
See, this is why we're here. We got it. Um, so spoken word. So tell me about one of your last performances. How did it go?
Well, my last performance was like a hybrid event. I hosted a fundraising gala last Thursday for the Young Invincibles, which is a advocacy program that trains young people to basically go and to basically advocate on a state level, city level, just legislation, advocacy. So I got to MC the event, and then I also did some poems, which are my they're like blessings in a way. Like, here's what your hands do. Now go out and do some more stuff with your hands. The two poems are sort of that.
Now,
So blessing them to multiply what they're doing because we need more of it.
yeah. Now, are your poems typically like off the top of your head, or do you write them before?
No. I am not Jay-Z or Lil Wayne.
Yeah. Okay.
Write it all down.
Right
I
on.
also read them.
Okay, you read
There
them.
are people who they never say it, but it's like it's almost like you're not legit if you didn't memorize.
Hmm. That's, that's
Hey, I'm
see.
not one of those people. So
Yeah. Yeah. Now, who is your favorite poet and why?
my favorite poet, just like I was saying with the song question, it changes.
Okay.
I guess the one that's the most foundational, not just for poetry, but for storytelling and achievements and general way of living, Maya Angelou.
Hmm.
One day, I don't know what I was reading or whatever, but this stuck out to me. She said something like, you don't have to just be one thing.
Hmm.
And I took that personally. I said, I'm going to be all these different things, sometimes even at the same time.
Why
Took
not?
it and ran with it.
Why not? Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
And there's also Langston Hughes
okay.
for kind of the same reasons.
Hmm.
He has a autobiography named The Big C. That's just gorgeous. It's all about him like going all around the world as a part of a ship crew.
Oh, cool.
Pretty cool.
I didn't know that. I see, I'm learning so much. Is there ever a time when you get writer's block?
Yes.
Okay, how do you deal with it?
You got to wait it out. The thing about I learned because I also have an English degree, and part of that is just learning composition. One of the papers I had to read in my composition class was basically a reframing of the idea of writer's block. The author called it an essential delay. And what that means is there's that pause there that basically means you need more information, input, and stimuli. So you need to go outside, take a walk, look at the world, listen to some music, maybe make a vision board, go somewhere, travel, talk to some people, listen to some music, probably all of those things, and then come back to it when you come back to it. I had been working on an essay about a Nas song that I was working on with my friend. He's making a book about a bunch of Nas songs, but they're travel essays. So it took me a year. So I started on it, and then a whole bunch of head trash, essential delay had to happen. And then I wrote it down and I sent it to him, and he tells me, this is the perfect time for me to receive this.
Hmm.
This helped me do something I was afraid to do. So you just
Essential.
got to write it out,
Yeah, makes sense.
because resisting it makes it worse.
And then you're going to put out a product that you're not even proud of because you
Yeah,
used it.
exactly.
Um, I want to talk about the importance of diverse voices in poetry and why that's so important.
Well, the thing that comes to my mind is representation. If you never seen someone do something, how would you know it's possible for you?
Mm.
A funny story about me is when I was younger, I wanted to be a paleontologist.
Interesting.
Dinosaurs. I wanted to discover a dinosaur, and in true Leo fashion, name it after myself. Thank
Okay.
you.
Right.
So,
As you should.
but where are the little black girls slash black women paleontologists? Do you know any?
I
Did
don't. I
you
would
know
love to
any in
find
the
one.
late 90s, in the early 2000s when I was graduating from high school? No. So I just leaned on what I know, which is the poems. And it's pretty good. Poems, a little bit of engineering and learning science eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But diverse voices, I just kind of went off on a tangent, but that's the major point. Like the representation, like how excited little girls were to see the new Little Mermaid.
Mhm.
They might not want to be mermaids, but maybe they realize they could be anything.
That's true. That's true.
It's like a duty. It goes back to the ancestral
Mm,
spiritual thing. It's like I've seen a lot that helps me keep going. So maybe I could do the same for someone else.
you can. And you are.
I think I have a little bit. That's pretty cool. It's pretty
Yeah.
exciting.
Always exciting. I one last question for you. I want to know what you typically write your poems about.
Ooh, typically.
Is it kind of just how you're feeling in the moment?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll get a phrase or an image that pops up into my head. And it's like I have to put it into words. And then it just goes from there. I've had the benefit of a lot of different writing workshops where I've been trained to just let my pen go
Mm.
and not, because out on a certain level your conscious mind is going to stop it, like get in the way of you writing. But I'll get that image and then I'll just write until I'm satisfied.
I like it.
um Spiritual things, revelations, things in nature, being a black woman, dating, uh yeah, just all kinds of things, just whatever happens.
Okay. Now if people want to support you, find your poetry, support the Confidence Boost Academy. You talked about where you can find the Confidence Boost Academy. Obviously, you can find you on LinkedIn. But where else can people support you? Is there another platform that they can find you on?
I am guilty of being not so great at keeping up with my social media, but I have a lot of handles. On Instagram, I have Ralonda the Poet with 2 E's, like Megan. Not Megan, but I thought it was catchy. Um, and then there's Ralonda a Poet on Facebook page. Um, yeah, I've been toying with the idea of getting on there and just reciting my poems.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Nobody really can stop me except myself. I just haven't done it yet, but
That's it right there. No one can stop you.
yeah. But yeah, that's where you can find me. I'm also on Gig Salad, which is how I got this. It's like a platform for speakers, poets, and whoever else.
Interesting.
Even like DJs are on there. That's how I got this last gig last Thursday. They found me on there. But yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, Ralonda, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on Equilibrium. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And thank you for sharing your story with us. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye.